try to not get emotional when I tell you this. But this message is definitely dedicated to David. David is a kid here on the street of Mexico City. I've seen him a few times. I rode by on a motorcycle. I always stop there to get some mangoes. But this is the first time David came up to me and talked to me. And we were talking, and David is 13 years old. And David works 12 hours a day. He's there from 12 in the afternoon. We talked about 10 minutes today. He's there from 12 in the afternoon until midnight. He's 13 years old. At 7 a.m., he goes to school, finishes at 12, and comes straight to working on the street. And what he does is he works at one of the stoplights, one of the red lights, the green lights, whatever they're called, the stoplights. And what he does is he washes people's windows, and they give him tips. And I asked him how much he makes in a day working those 12 hours. And he said 100 pesos. And 100 pesos, if you guys don't know, 100 pesos is barely $5. And I'm sitting here, this happened just like 7 or 8 minutes ago. I'm trying not to get emotional because, like, no one's coming to save David. Nobody. David's working 12 hours a day at 13 years old for $5. No one's coming to save him. Thousands of cars drive by him a day, sees a kid doing what he can. His family lives in another town away from here. He comes here all by himself. No one's coming to save him. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to save me. Like, we have to understand that if no one's coming to save us, whose responsibility is it? First question. Second question is, how much time do you want to waste until you understand number one question? Like, I think about a kid, everyone should be wanting to help him out. Tell him, hey, do this, kid, stay in school. People driving by, it's a very nice area. Liverpool, if you guys know, Liverpool is a very top high class place. Things are expensive there. And he was just out there, people going by, shopping. I'm guilty of it too. I went by, paid, I don't know, $100 for some glasses and came out the store. Same thing. No one's coming to save him. No one's coming to save me. No one's coming to save you. If you don't like the situation that you're in, if you don't like the place that you're in, guys, I promise you, you can wait and think that the world's coming to save you. The world owes you nothing. Nothing. And I know even myself, I like to think like, well, it kind of owes me something. I keep doing all this, so it should, no, it doesn't. It owes you nothing. And not only that, but we're just wasting time. Some of you guys, you heard me yesterday, the average age life expectancy, at least in America, is 75 years old. And if the average life expectancy is 75 years old, then that means that if you're 37 years old, you're at the midpoint in your life. And I understand why most of my clients are in that age of 31 to 39. And it's not about what's going on in the first half of your life, but what are you going to do in the second half? How much more time do you want to waste? Now, of course, this video is dedicated to David, but this video is to me. I can work hours and hours and hours, but if it's not productive and it's not getting me to where I want to go, then what am I doing? And as I thought about it, looking at David, young, cute kid, big smile, and it was gone. I asked David, like, David, when do you have time to play? He's like, I can't. I said, why can't you play? He said, I need to work. But I feel like all of us embrace some part of David. When are you going to get time to play? You going to wait till you're older? You're going to play that card? How many people have played that card? I'm going to wait until ... And some of them aren't even around for us to even ask them how that went. So being around here and, you know, nobody is coming to save you. If no one's coming to save you, how much longer are you willing to wait? And maybe we need to replace the word wait with waste. How much time am I going to wait? Waste. Change the word. Like, time is ticking. For some of us, faster than others. But regardless, time is ticking. I look around at people and I wonder how many people play. How many people understand what these kids are doing right here is probably one of the most important things that most of us are missing in their life, including me. I think this sometimes. If not, what are we waiting for? And I say that a lot. What are we waiting for? Because I really mean it. What are we waiting for? The more I think of David, no one's coming to save this young kid. Then for sure as hell, who's going to come and save me or you, or anyone older than me or younger than me? Like, when is now the right time for you? How many videos do you have to watch? How much more information do you have to consume? It's all about actions with an S. If there's not an S, if you just take one action, I promise you it's not going to work. Because every action you take opens up more. Everything you get opens up. Every problem you solve in your life is going to expose 3 or 4 more problems that you didn't know about. It's going to expose it. I started doing CrossFit lately, as you guys know, and with CrossFit, I was exposed to my flexibility. I was exposed to how weak my wrists were, because I'm used to having a very soft wrist for basketball. I'm used to not using just so much bar weight, but yet I had to work on all that. But then as I was doing it, I was doing things I hadn't done in a long time. I was getting really sore. That exposed that I needed to recover better. Then that exposed that I needed to take more rest time. And then that exposed that I needed to just have a break sometimes and really take time off. Everything you do is going to expose you to something else. And some of you guys are staying in your comfort zone so much that you're not pushing yourself enough that you can be exposed to your weaknesses. And if you're not exposed to your weaknesses, doesn't mean that your weaknesses exist. It just means that you're unaware of them. And there's nothing worse than being unaware of your weaknesses, because there's going to be a day when it's going to be exposed. And when your weaknesses are exposed and you haven't been prepared for and you didn't know about it, it's just going to make you wish you did it earlier. So this message isn't just for David, who, I don't even know if David speaks English. We spoke Spanish the whole time. But for anyone like him, anyone out there doing something you don't like, wasting time you really realize you don't have, and not realizing what is costing your soul and your happiness while you're doing it. Taking your smile, taking your joy, taking your laughing, and more importantly, taking your time away from playing. When was the last time you went for a walk, actually? When was the last time you just had some fun? Didn't spend any money and just had some fun. Went for a walk, hung out with some people. When was the last time? More importantly, when was the last time you had some time just for you and had fun? Not a club, not a bar, not a get-together, not with family, but just a time with just you having fun. Because sometimes as we're learning, and I know some of you guys are here learning, you have to have time where your brain is just off and you just can integrate. You don't have to talk or carry on a conversation with anybody. Because the more things can integrate, the more you're working on yourself. I know some of you guys are, and if you're watching these videos, then you have no choice, because that's what I'm talking about nowadays. And understand, if you're working on yourself, Luke, I'm doing it, you don't understand. I'm here, I get you. And I want to just remind you, as you're working on yourself and you're doing everything, what's not working for you in your life is working on you. It means slowly but surely you're becoming the person who you know you can be. And this isn't a whole masterclass, but just seeing David there, and I can't let that stuff slide anymore. I used to wait a couple of days, hide that lesson I want to tell about David inside some entertainment, but at the end of the day, it's about you getting this message. No one's coming to save you, I promise you. I promise you, you'll work in that job until you can't move anymore. I promise you, you'll be in that relationship until you don't have any energy left. I promise you, you'll be living in that city until you hate it so much you just stay inside your home. You understand that there's people who are so unhappy with themselves. Before they go into work, they sit in their car, they look into the rearview mirror at themselves, they take a big deep breath, They put their head down and they open the door and they get out and they go into work. And they do the same thing when they come home. And maybe that's a life that some people want to live, and I get it. I mean, we have to choose our struggle in the life. But if it's not the one that you want, understand no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to change you. It's on you. And I love you. Hope this message gets to the person who needs to hear this today. David, thank you. Everyone should thank David, because that's what sparked this whole thought. Thinking I can't do everything. I gave him some money, but what does that mean? I could have gave him every single bit of money in my wallet. What would it have meant? In a week, he'd be back in the same place. It has to be something deeper. It has to last longer. The little hit, the little high, can you see in the world we're living in, it's not working? Have you noticed how when you go out on the weekends now, when you go out on the weekends, before Monday morning's even there, you're already in that dread mode? Can you see it? Can you feel how things are changing? And yeah, I could keep going on and on, but I just want to share that with you and with you, little squirrel watching me. I see you. Yeah, I saw you. And I want to thank you for being here. I will always do my best to share my story and shine my light and encourage you all to do the same. I love you. Take care. Speak to you all later. And in the meantime, everyone always remember to work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile. Ciao.